to my channel. Firstly, I want to just say I'm really sorry about all the bells and the sounds that you can hear in the background. I'm downstairs at the moment, my kittens are awake and they're playing with their toys and they have bells on their collars, so I'm really sorry about that. I can't really stop it because they will just destroy the house if I lock them up somewhere else. Hello, Shadow. Hello. Anyway, let's get right into it. So today I'm filming a video on the topic of mental health, and the reason being is because it's Mental Health Awareness Month. I thought I would sort of reflect back on an old video that I posted back in January last year. I was going to do more than one, like a little series about anxiety and mental health. I have not posted a follow-up video since then, so I thought what better way than Mental Health Month. Also, I wrote notes because I have a lot I want to touch on, so I've written notes, so apologies if I'm not looking at the camera the whole time, because when I'm talking about this sort of stuff and when I get anxious and overthink, I will forget what I want to say. So I've written it down as just to jog my memory and whatever. Okay, so just to go back to my video from last year, I opened up about my struggles with anxiety, and the three key things that I struggle with are low self-esteem, low self-worth, and lack of self-love. And I admitted that I had come to the decision to go see a psychologist because my previous employer offered a couple of free sessions with their partner, whatever. So I went and saw the psychologist, but it turned out they were a counsellor and they were more for short-term help rather than long-term, which, you know, I finally after years came to the decision to see someone. And so I had it in my head that this was going to be a long-term solution, or not solution, but process with opening up to someone and taking the time to really get into the details. And I wasn't really a fan of the short-term solution, or I didn't really connect with the lady I talked to. She was really lovely, but I just didn't connect with her. So it kind of put me off again. I just continued trying to manage my anxiety myself by, you know, exercising, doing the happiness planner journals that I mentioned, things like that. But I found, and excluding COVID, I found that I was progressively going downhill with my mental health. I was feeling worse and worse, even though I was trying to do more things that should make me feel better. And I came to the conclusion probably mid last year that I don't think I'm anxious really, I think I'm depressed. And so I went and saw a doctor, and they did a questionnaire and ranked the scores, and turns out my anxiety is pretty good and my depression is pretty bad. So I was prescribed medication then and there, and they wrote a mental health plan for me to go see a psychologist. So a few months later I started seeing an actual psychologist, and part of the reason why I did that was because one of my best friends, Steph, encouraged me to do so, because I was so against it for so long. But I got to this point where I was feeling so low and so empty, and I wasn't suicidal, but I had no desire for life. I just wasn't enjoying anything, and I just felt really numb inside. And I thought, okay, well, I need to do something about this, and I think I'm going to need external help. And it's a really big thing admitting that you need someone else to help you. We're always happy to sort of reach out to our friends and family and chat about our struggles, get advice, but it's not the same as seeing a psychologist. And so I came to terms with that and decided to go, and it's actually been really useful. I'm being treated with Schema Therapy. It's kind of like cognitive behavior therapy on crack. Don't, Shadow. And so my psychologist did this questionnaire with me to see where I ranked on the 18, I think, different types of schemas. And the top three that were sort of just shut the up on the table and didn't make it. Anyway, the top three schemas that I ranked against were, oh my God, I can't get anything done, were abandonment, defectiveness or unlovability, and social isolation or alienation, which is basically feeling different to everyone else, like feeling like you don't belong. And so in our sessions, I've had about 6 to 8, I can't really remember. We've been talking a lot about these schemas and trying to trace them back to where they originated, because on a surface level, when you're talking to your friends and where you think they might have started, you might have thought, you know, your last relationship caused the problem, or your last friendship breakdown, or whatever it was. You might have thought that was the reason why you were feeling the way you do and why you might have felt abandoned. Because at the time it's very relevant, but it actually can stem back way further than that, but you don't actually know, you don't realize it until you really start thinking and your psychologist prompts you to think back and be like, how did this particular situation make you feel? And you work your way backwards quite far. Identifying these schemas makes a lot of sense, because a lot of the behaviors you do are seeking reassurance, putting others before yourself, allowing yourself to be mistreated, and trying to seek approval. Oh my God. Trying to seek approval or love from others by doing exaggerated behaviors. So in past relationships, I would, you know, do anything I could for them because I wanted them to love me. And at the time I didn't know that's what I was doing, but anything I did for them, I would always put myself last compared to them, because I wanted to make them happy. I wanted to make them love me. So I'd do anything they wanted, even if they didn't ask, anything nice, because I wanted them to need me and to love me. And that's obviously very toxic, and it's obviously going to make me feel depressed because I'm not actually getting it back. I'm seeking it because I feel, because of my abandonment issues and feeling unloved in the past and things like that. And so seeing my psychologist has helped identify that, because at the time I didn't know I was doing it, but now I look back and I'm like, it all makes sense. And it's really, I've just found these sessions really, really insightful. I haven't necessarily gotten better yet, or I don't feel like I've improved in terms of my depression or anxiety, but insight has really helped me. It's really helpful to know where these schemas originated from and why I feel the way I do when I do, because I feel those feelings, I used to feel and I still do, I used to feel those feelings all the time, but I never really knew why. I could make a guess because of present events that were happening, but it was an ongoing problem, and I was taking everything personally and really struggling. So it's really good to know why and how. And also through seeing my psychologist, I've identified that I'm currently very closed off and not as loving as I'd like to be, especially in a physical way. With partners and friends and family, I would be more touchy normally, but I'm not at the moment. I don't like that, but I'm working towards trying to get back to that direction, because at the moment on the spectrum, you know, you've got touchy, not touchy, closed off, and I'm like up here. I want to get back to more the middle, because I like to have my independence and space, but I'm also a very loving person when I'm feeling better. But at the moment I'm not, but at least I'm aware of that. So I'm trying to do things to get back on track. I struggle to feel genuine happiness for others, and I become less thoughtful. And I don't mean that in a very selfish way. I just mean I'm so empty inside and so down and numb that I forget to think about other people, like my family, friends and partner. Sometimes I just don't think about anything. I don't know what's going on in my head. Can you not? This is a very serious talk. Yeah, I don't know what happens. I'm just not as thoughtful as I used to be, because obviously I used to put everyone before myself all the time. And while that's well and good, a lot of the time I was doing it in a very toxic way for myself. And so right now I've obviously put up these walls and I'm doing the opposite of what I used to do. So I'm working towards getting back to, you know, more healthy sort of behavior. I've also identified that I doubt my ability to be a good partner, friend, sister, daughter, you know, all of that. And knowing that makes me feel anxious and depressed, which is obviously not good. I feel like when I have those thoughts, I tend to withdraw further from people because I'm easily triggered. So again, that's not helping my relationships and improving myself. Overall, seeing my psychologist has been really helpful in terms of insight and learning more about myself, and helps me have those conversations with people and help them understand where I'm coming from, even if it doesn't make sense. Anyway, I'm going to skip to how I currently manage my mental health. I hope, you know, some of these things I do might help you, and I also welcome input from you guys in the comments below about what you do that I haven't listed that helps your mental health, because I would love to try new things. I'm really sorry, stop being loud. Yeah, I would love to try new things, so I'm open to anything, so please comment below what you do and what works for you. And I know that what works for you might not work for me, which is okay, and vice versa, but it's about being open, encouraging the conversation about mental health and trying to support each other and lift each other up, rather than bringing each other down and being bullies and, you know, making fun of people for having struggles, because everyone goes through them. So anyway, so what I do, I like to exercise, and I'm trying to get back into a routine at the gym, so I've got a personal trainer to help me, so that's good. I also have gotten into yoga recently, which is nice. And another big thing is walking outside, you know, being in nature, being in the sun, like it makes a massive difference to like my thought process and how I physically and mentally feel. Obviously seeing a psychologist, and I'm trialing different medications at the moment. Spending time with, you know, close friends, family, and my partner, you know, with the people that I know love me and support me and understand me, will do anything for me. I only have very few close friends at the moment, but quality is better than quantity. You need to be around people that will do anything for you. Routine is really big for me, and I really identified that in my psychologist sessions. I've always been quite structured and like to plan and organize, but I didn't realize how badly I needed that in my life to sort of stay calm and not get really anxious and flustered all the time. I need my routine, and that includes exercising and having a lot of me time. And I also like to write to-do lists, and so I can check them off, and it makes me feel satisfied. I have a gratitude journal. Oh, I didn't bring it down with me, but I like to write 3 things each day, you know, about what I was grateful for that day. I have happiness planner journals, which I have not been writing in lately. Here they are. I don't know if you can see. There's more as well that I want to do later on once I complete these. I need to get back into them, but they're very helpful. Different topics. I've done law of attraction and confidence, well, half of confidence, and I think I started self-awareness. So it's very helpful because it just asks you different questions each day. I like to be productive at home on those days where I don't really feel like being social or going out. So I love cleaning and organizing and doing some life admin, and that makes me feel better being organized at home, but doing minimal, work, and it's minimal effort, I guess, in terms of, you know, when you're feeling mentally exhausted, you don't want to socialize because it's so off-putting and triggering, and it's just going to make you feel worse if you force yourself to do those sort of things. So when I'm having those days, I won't just sit around doing nothing at home, because I know that won't make me feel good. Sooty, can you not? So I try to be productive, even if it's just doing small things like tidying up, doing some laundry, organizing my files on my computer, whatever it is. Self-help books. I've got a few here that I really loved. I don't know which way, that way. Wait, I don't know. Is that the right way for you guys? Anyway, so again, these books gave me a lot of insight. They sort of taught me how to adjust my thinking and perception on life, and to think about what I really value, and to care less about all the little things, and really think about what I should be caring about versus what really doesn't matter. The Resilience Project is a really good book. I've actually been to his talk a week and a bit ago. That was a nice refresher of the book. This book is fantastic. It teaches you how to find happiness through gratitude, empathy, and mindfulness. And during the talk, he sort of discussed with gratitude, instead of writing just things that you're grateful for, oh my God, just try and write down 3 good things that happened to you today. Because if you keep writing things that you're grateful for, you know, family, friends, pets, coffee, I don't know, it's going to get repetitive and it's going to get boring, and you'll be less likely to continue with your journaling. However, if you talk about 3 specific things that were good that happened to you today, then it's going to release endorphins in your brain, and you'll feel happier. So that can be writing it down or talking about it with who you live with or whatever. And then empathy. So if you are empathetic to others and care about others and support others, that's going to release endorphins in your brain and make you feel happier. And mindfulness, it's not just about meditation and things like that. Hugh from the book, he said he just takes his dog for a walk and he just tries to focus on, you know, the things he can hear. And when he catches his brain wandering off about what am I doing tonight, what am I doing tomorrow, he'll catch himself and go back and be like, no, I need to worry about what I can hear right now. That's all I need to worry about. And it's about being present in the moment. And that helps, again, with feeling happiness. Good Vibes, Good Life is a really good book. It's about, you know, law of vibration. So basically, he guides you on how to, Vex King is the author, and he guides you on how to raise your vibrations. An example is if you start to put more joy out into the universe, then you're going to get things back that make you feel joyful, if that makes sense. It's kind of like law of attraction, but in terms of sort of emotions, I guess. That's what I took from it anyway. And then The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck and Everything is by Manson. He's a really funny author. All these books are really easy reads, but they just sort of remind you about what you already know and gives you a lot of insight. I also listen to podcasts. I was last year listening to the Love Your Anxiety podcast by Emily Clark quite a lot. I got to about episode 54 or something. I need to get back onto it, but she basically teaches you how to love your anxiety, and that your anxiety is there to teach you a lesson and you can't just push it away. You need to sort of think deep about, okay, why am I feeling anxious in this moment? Like, keep asking yourself why. Try break it down. Your anxiety stems from 3 different, I guess, feelings or fears, and that's about feeling not good enough, not lovable, and unsafe. So they are the 3 things that cause your anxiety. So you need to work your way back and you'll figure out whether you're feeling unloved in that moment, unsafe, or not good enough, or all of the above. You can have all of them, 2 of them, 1 of them. And once you know what it is, you can sort of take steps to work on that particular fear or anxiety. So then in the future, when you're feeling anxious, you can snap out of it because you're like, no, I'm feeling anxious right now because I feel unloved, but I know I'm not unloved. Anyway, that is all I'm going to say for this video. I hope somehow, somewhere in this video, it sort of helps you. I hope you learn something, or I hope you're encouraged to do something positive for yourself. Again, please let me know what you do to manage your anxiety, depression, or your struggles. I'm very interested to try new things and to know what works for other people, because that might work for me, but if not, that's totally cool. And I hope maybe out of my list of things that I currently do to manage my mental health, you might get an idea and it might help you. We need to encourage the conversation. Mental health, the topic of mental health is very important. We need to help each other, be there for each other. We need to ask for help, encourage other people to ask for help, all of that. So spread the word, comment below, share this video, share me videos or other suggestions. Yeah, and I look forward to the next video on this topic. I'm not sure when I'll do the next one, but I will keep updating you guys on my progress, and I hope you guys do the same, and let's talk about it. Okay, bye.